Reacher Season 4 premieres on Prime Video in 2026, but before its return this year, one Netflix show has seemingly flipped its crime thriller formula. Based on Lee Child's Jack Reacher books, Prime Video's Reacher is not exactly subversive in any way. It works incredibly well because of its ability to accurately adapt Lee Child's stories and Alan Ritchson's performance as the titular larger-than-life character. Despite conforming to many conventions of the action thriller genre, Reacher cleverly instills novelty through the gimmicks of its main character. Jack Reacher seems reminiscent of popular detective figures like Sherlock when he sets out to solve crime. However, what truly sets him apart is his sheer size, nearly superhuman strength, and love for the open road. Interestingly, one of Netflix's latest additions to the crime thriller genre, Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole, also seems quite similar to Prime Video's Reacher on paper. However, a closer look at the adaptation of Norwegian author Joe Nesbo's Harry Hole book series reveals how it actually flips many tropes and genre archetypes that Reacher strictly follows throughout its runtime. Netflix's Detective Hole flips the genre conventions that define Reacher. Just like Jack Reacher, Detective Harry Hole in the Netflix crime thriller is portrayed as a lone wolf. He has a razor-sharp moral compass like Jack Reacher and displays brilliant Sherlock-esque deductive abilities when he sets out to solve crime. However, Detective Hole almost serves as a complete antithesis of the power fantasy that drives Prime Video's Reacher. Jack Reacher is almost portrayed as a mythic, Western-style force of justice and restoration. Wherever he goes, he solves a massive local conspiracy, cleans out the bad guys, and leaves without leaving any footsteps behind. Detective Harry Hole, in contrast, is a more tragic hero whose alcoholism often gets the best of him. He often gets involved in physical fights like Jack Reacher. However, these conflicts rarely end up going his way. Jack Reacher also represents the ultimate male fantasy in the sense that he never settles in one place and travels with nothing but a foldable toothbrush. Detective Hole's crime-solving misadventures, on the other hand, are grounded in Oslo, Norway. As a sleuth, he primarily functions within the legal system and works under the Oslo Crime Squad. While he does not shy away from breaking a rule or two to get the job done, he is never a full-fledged vigilante like Jack Reacher. To his dismay, his attachment to his home also becomes his own prison, which is reminiscent of how Jack Reacher felt trapped in the military's rigid hierarchy. Detective Harry Hole also struggles to hold on to romantic relationships like Jack Reacher, but his reasons are completely different. While it is Reacher's love for the open road that prompts him to never settle with anyone, Hole's unhealthy obsession with his job and everlasting struggles with alcohol keep him away from relationships. Put simply, Reacher riffs more on the mysterious stranger trope, where the titular Alan Ritchson character restores peace and order everywhere he goes. Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole, in contrast, features a flawed hero who has the best intentions in mind, but he often finds himself on the path of self-destruction and erosion. If renewed, Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole can be the next big crime thriller show. Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole adapts the author's fifth book from the Harry Hole series, The Devil's Star. The Netflix show seems to benefit heavily from the fact that Joe Nesbo himself is its main writer. This allows the show to stay true to the raw, gritty, and cold storytelling of the original book. While the first season of Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole on Netflix is not perfect, it is far better than Hollywood's previous efforts to adapt the author's novels. After watching Tobias Santelman as Detective Harry Hole in the Netflix crime thriller, it is hard not to see him turn into an iconic on-screen detective like Harry Bosch, Jack Reacher, or even Sherlock Holmes. In more ways than one, Harry Hole also seems reminiscent of complex detective characters like Rust Cohle from True Detective Season 1, which adds to his appeal. With its immersive storytelling and compelling leads, Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole gives a glimpse of what it will become beyond Season 1 if Netflix decides to continue its run. The original book series also has more than 10 installments, giving the show enough source material for at least 4 more seasons. Hopefully, Joe Nesbo's Detective Hole will get to return with more seasons on Netflix and rise in the ranks to find itself among some of the best modern crime thrillers, like Reacher.